Welcome to Learnfinity Labs, where we discover new things, learn from it, and then share it to our community. Today, we will be adding MailHog and phpMyadmin to our local development stack. If you haven't watched my previous video about setting up Nginx, Node, PHP and MySQL, I encourage you to do so as we will continue to build on it. MailHog is an open-source email testing tool with a fake SMTP server underneath. It allows you to configure your application to send mail to MailHog instead of sending it to your default SMTP server. MailHog catches all mail sent to it and stores them for display in a web-based user interface for you to view. On the other hand, phpMyadmin is a free and open-source administration tool for MySQL and MariaDB. As a portable web application written primarily in PHP, it has become one of the most popular MySQL administration tools, especially for web hosting services. Before the end of the video, I will be showing you an alternative to phpMyadmin, as it will be easier and much safer to use, as I do not recommend using phpMyadmin in production environments. To begin, open your browser and go to github.com/learnfinitylabs/nginx-node-php-mysql-in-docker. I have created a new branch called Additional Setup. If you are not using Git and just wish to download the files, click the Additional Setup branch before downloading the zip file, and extract its contents to where you are working, overriding some of the files. If you are using Git, open your terminal and make sure you are inside the project folder you created based on our last video. You can double-check it by executing the pwd command, or print working directory. Type git fetch origin to download contents from our remote repository. Next, type git branch-a. To check if the additional setup branch is available, we need to check out in that branch so we can get our updated files. Type git checkout-b. Additional setup space origin/additional setup to create our own local branch based off it. Now that we have our updated files on our local machine, launch your favorite IDE or text editor and open the .env.example file. Copy the PMA environment variable and paste it in your .env file. Then edit the value based on your setup. Please take note that this folder will be later filled with the phpMyadmin files. Launch your Docker desktop if it is not already running. We will be deleting both the Docker containers and images for PHP and Nginx, as we have new configuration files for them. Do not worry if you are currently working on a project, as we will not lose any files with these steps, but, on the safe side, please back up your files as any good developer will do. To continue, on your terminal, type cd docker, then type docker-compose-up-d, nginx, php, MailHog. The call to nginx, PHP and MailHog to the docker compose command means that we only want to build and run those images. If you think about it, we have deleted both nginx and PHP from the Docker desktop earlier, and we just to rebuild it again with our updated configurations, and the only real new image here is MailHog. While these are setting up, I will take this opportunity to explain to you the changes we have made. These are the files that have been changed and added, so let's go through with it one by one, except for the .env.example file which we already encountered earlier. The updates we made in our Docker Compose file are the mounted volumes for phpMyadmin, both for Nginx and PHP, which we also have done previously for our web application, the Laravel framework. Now, the main reason for this is so we do not have any file permission issues for phpMyadmin. Also, on the PHP service, we have added a bash script that will automatically install for us phpMyadmin, which I will discuss later. And lastly, we have added the MailHog service so we pull the image from the Docker repository and use it with our stack. And if in case you are wondering where did we get the reference for Nginx, PHP and MailHog when we executed the Docker compose up command earlier, it is the names of the services contained in this file. Next is the Nginx default configuration file. We have added the location block which will handle requests for phpMyadmin. If you have noticed, we have used the alias directive because our phpMyadmin files are located in /usr/share/phpMyadmin. unlike our Laravel files which are located in /var/www/html. Next from the list is the Docker file for PHP. We have installed wget as we will be using this tool in our bash script to download the compressed phpMyadmin files. We also installed the MySQL PHP extension, as this is the extension used by phpMyadmin in connecting with our MySQL database. And lastly, we copied the install.sh script and made it executable so the Docker Compose file can execute it once the PHP container is up and running. Finally, the install.sh script checks if the index.php file exists in our phpMyadmin directory, and if not, proceeds to download the compressed files using wget. Then uses the tar command to extract the files to /usr/share/phpMyadmin while not including the top-level directory. Copy the config sample PHP file and rename it to config.inc.php. Use said commands to change some lines to it for our configuration. Then delete the compressed files using the rm or remove command. Then changing the directory to /var/www/html. which is a default directory for our web application. The last few lines is just basically delaying the call to php-fpm while our phpMyadmin is being downloaded and extracted. The php-fpm command is called explicitly so once the install script finishes, our PHP backend is up and running and ready to serve our PHP applications. With that out of the way, let us first test our MailHog container if it is working perfectly. On your browser, go to localhost:8025 and we should see that MailHog is ready to receive emails. In order for us to test this, we will be using the forgot password feature of Laravel to test if we can receive the email. Good, now let us move on to phpMyadmin. On your browser, go to localhost/phpMyadmin, and if you can remember in our previous video, we used Learnfinity Labs both for the username and password in setting up the MySQL database. Let us run a sample query if everything is working as expected. Great, we have managed to successfully set up MailHog in phpMyadmin in Docker, but, as I have said earlier, I will show you an alternative to phpMyadmin. There are several MySQL clients that I would recommend, namely, SQLYog, HeidiSQL and MySQL Workbench. Incidentally, I already have MySQL Workbench installed on my machine, so let us take a look and see how to set it up quickly, and again run a simple query. There you have it. I really hope you learned something and enjoyed this tutorial video. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons to get more of these kinds of content. Also click the notification bell so you get notified when new videos are uploaded in our channel. And if you have any questions or feedback, please put those in the comments below. See you on our next video.